And I know that 90% of autistic people are unemployed. So I'm going to, do a little thing to help you out here. It's what I did and what I'm doing. So I'll skip right to the chase here. We're going to go to my desktop and see what I did. So now you can see what's going on. I have to do it this way. Okay, so whatever, it's not showing up like it used to do. I don't know why. It's kind of like, yeah. So there's a thing called Claude.ai, and yeah. So you go to this website called Claude.ai. There we go. Now you're seeing it. Okay, so you can see up here it says CLAUDE.ai. You just go there. It's free. Now this is a more advanced AI than the ChatGPT 4 even. This can do 400,000 tokens, and you can upload files into it. You can give it your resume and ask it, and here's what I said. Here's my resume. AI has made me largely obsolete. I'm unemployed and nobody has been willing to hire me for over a year. I also have stock options, commodities, trading account, and about a year of experience. How can I use my skills to make money online? You can ask me anything. And it says, oh, I'm sorry. But anyway, it comes up with some good ideas here, like freelancing. Well, in my field, there's 250,000 layoffs in the last year. And guess what they're all trying to do? They're all on Upwork. They're all on Fiverr. They're all freelancing. And so are a billion people in India and, a couple 100,000 in Latin America and, maybe a bunch in China. So that's going to be too much competition, and for very low wages. Like I can go on there and hire a programmer for $5 an hour in Ukraine right now. So yeah, I'm not going to be able to pay my bills with that. And to create online courses, it's been done and done and done over and over and over again. There's so many courses, and you have to pay so much for advertising to get people to sign up. Day trading, yeah, I did that, and I lost money. Options, I did that, and I made money, but it wasn't enough to pay the bills because you need money to make money, and I don't have a lot of money. And that's even with leveraging my money 3 times. So like you go in with 10,000, you can start, dealing with, I think it's 12 or 13,000. You can start dealing with S&P 500 options, but that's, really you need like 100,000 to be able to make enough to pay your bills. So start a blog. Nobody reads those. YouTube channel. Well, guess what the whole planet is doing right now? Everyone wants to be a YouTube content creator. It's all based on a personality, a cult of personality. And, as an autistic person, I know what my personality is like, and I don't have a real pretty face. So, yeah, and my content isn't going to be of interest to much people because, it's autistic people and development and stuff. And autistic people are like, 1 to 2% of the population. So I'm not going to have really significant numbers doing that. Sell your own software products. See, they suggest software as a service here, SaaS. And that's just flooded with people. Everybody's doing that, Technical writing, yeah, for very little money. Why would someone hire me to do technical writing when they can just get AI to do it? And it's smarter than me, it's faster than me, it's free. And you can't make any money at it. So consult as an expert. Well, why would they consult with me when they can consult with Claude, right? And Claude has, knows every programming language, knows all of Stack Overflow, and can do programming better than me. So yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. unless I wanted to go in and consult people how to get rid of their programmers and replace them with AI, but I don't. So I was like, well, I told her AI has replaced most of that, and the market is flooded with other people that were replaced by AI. I was thinking of making a zombie apocalypse game in Unreal Engine 5, but I'm not sure I can do it myself. It says, yeah, that's a good point. Those markets are saturated and there's competition. Game development could be a good path, but doing it all yourself is quite difficult. So it gives some ideas like start small, 1 or 2 levels, leverage asset stores. That's where you can go buy, 3D assets, animations, environments, stuff like that. And a lot of times you can get them free. So that's a good idea. Seek a co-founder. Yep, did that. The more people, the faster it goes. Outsource assets. So that's where you're buying them. And maybe you're getting it from other places besides the asset store. And I found one. I'll show you later. Use frameworks and templates, and it suggests Unreal's survival template, and that was a really good suggestion because I went in there and looked at it. It's $20, and you just plug it into your game, and now it's a survival game. And that's what a zombie apocalypse game is. It's a survival game. So for $20, I can save all that work, throw it in, I'm good to go. Start building an audience. This is basically, I'll share my progress on my other channel, and start releasing versions of it that, as it gets playable, consider crowdfunding. You know what? That doesn't work for me. Like I went to Kickstarter. I set up Kickstarter. I was getting all this stuff ready to go, and then they're like, okay, now go market your Kickstarter. Plan a budget of $20,000. I'm like, you guys aren't marketing anything here. All they do is provide you with like credibility. So like if you're like in a country that's known for scams, like India, and you go onto Kickstarter, they know that the people crowdfunding that if you sketch out, Kickstarter will hold you accountable and give their money back. So that's all they provide. They don't do any marketing. And you basically are doing all the marketing yourself. I don't have money for marketing, something that doesn't exist yet. Focus on simplicity and polish. Okay, so makes sense. Okay, so I was like, well, here's more info about the game and a scope document. And I uploaded that file. It's like, oh yeah, here, this is, the story is, sets the stage. Focus on 1 or 2 locations. Now, he tells me I'm using metahumans, which are pre-made humans. You just pick their skin color, their body type, their clothing and hair and all that, and then you download it into your game and you're done. So great, fast, easy way to get people into the game and players. Then he wants me to get the, scavenging, base building, combat, get those worked out. I haven't sorted those out yet. Simplify the attributes and stats system, so it comes up with some good ideas here. Maybe find an artist or designer to work with you. Explore this place, Arcade Giants. I haven't done that yet. Make a vertical slice of core gameplay first. So you might say, okay, you start here, you go here, you do this, and that's how the game is played. Marketing and building wish lists will be crucial. I think what that boils down to for me is just like putting the game on Steam for free with ads, right? And there's your marketing. Consider early access launch. Yeah. Okay. Then I said, okay, my 14-year-old son wants to help. We're both new to Unreal Engine 5. Where do we go from here? And it gives some, basically go learn it. And so that's what I'm doing right now, is learning it. And, this works for anyone. If you go back to the top here, just put your resume in. Just use my scroll wheel. Just put your resume here, and it'll spit out and then say something like this: how can I use my skills to make money online? And it'll give you a list of things. You go through those and pick one, because I basically chose this: sell your own software products. But I didn't go with SaaS because I know that that's what all the Me Too neurotypicals are doing, because somebody put a video online how to do it and get $1 million. And, and so there's a lot of people doing that, by the way. And so I use my little autistic ability to think outside the box and say, what about a zombie game? Because right now that's only big game studios can do that. But now with AI, Unreal Engine 5, MetaHumans, asset stores, you don't really need a big game studio. You can just buy assets you want and make what you need and put in the gameplay and make it fun and go on your way. Now, I don't suggest everybody goes out and do this because, I do know C++. I do have experience with large integrated development environments, and I do have extensive experience with playing games and what makes them fun. And, so yeah, get this AI out there, leverage it. And now I'm gonna do my rant. Okay, so most people are telling you get a job, right? So I tried that, and what happened was I ended up sending out hundreds and hundreds of resumes and getting hundreds and hundreds of rejections or silence. And let me put this up here for you. There's a little ticker here, caption that you should see. Okay, show that. Now you can see it. This is, so just remember Claude.ai. I'm going to go back to my regular screen and tell you about this. Oh yeah, look at the job market. 25% of jobs are fake. That came out in an article. Why? Because they're employers who are testing the market to see, oh, maybe I can get someone a little cheaper. Maybe I'm paying my programmer too much. Some are employers who are, pacifying the overworked employees that they have and saying, yeah, we're trying to hire somebody, but we just can't get anybody, but we got the job ads out and everything. So, and then some others are seeing like a survey. They're using it to collect data on people. So it might actually be like a recruiter or something trying to fill their database with qualified people to say they have 1,000 candidates in their pool and why the employer should choose them. Okay, so then 25% are like the job description doesn't have anything to do with the job. It's a total like copy paste from some website because the HR person doesn't know anything about the job or the work that's being done. And so then you would get to that job and be like, oh my God, you didn't really need a full stack developer. You needed a database administrator and a front end developer and a secretary and a teacher, and you want that all in one person. Great. Good luck with that. So it might be suicide missions or something like that, but they just don't know what they're doing. And you're wasting your time because you're not going to get the job. And then 25% are impossible to qualify for. And the reason for this is if you want to get cheap workers from India, you have to get a visa, okay? And in order to get them a visa, you have to go through the Department of Labor and convince them that nobody in America has this skill that you want to hire for your job. And so they'll put all this stuff that the guy has on the job listing, and then you go in there, you're like, oh, I have those skills, I'll apply. And then they're like, oh man, now we can't show the Department of Labor that nobody's qualified. So let's relist the job and add something that guy doesn't have. And then you go back in there, you're like, oh, and you're just wasting time on these, like, what was it? I don't know, they do probably tens of thousands of these every year. So you're just filtering through all these jobs. And it's like the only ones that you can really count on are the ones that are like, it says you must be a U.S. citizen, probably because they are dealing with people's personal data, and they can't just have like some dude in India, knowing your bank account information and stuff. And or they're like for like some kind of government thing, and national security or HIPAA medical records, things like that. And then you're applying to those, and so is everyone else on the planet, and you're just going to get lost in the mix. So yeah, that's it. And then so I went to the job center. I got my resume worked up. I had them show me what I already knew to go online and apply to these jobs, which I had been doing and not getting jobs. And then they were like, oh, okay, well, we'll get you over to the disability vocational rehabilitation people. And they just, I went in and I told them, why I'm having trouble finding work. And they're just like, oh, yeah, we don't know what to do. It's like, great. And then, so they referred me to a private job center, basically. And they're basically like going out there and applying for me, and then when there's a rejection, they call the employer and say, what's going on? Why'd you reject this guy? So, and that hasn't had any fruit come from that. And so, yeah, now I've got like 3 employment agencies that can't get me work. Anyway, so yeah, and I did retraining, hey, I'll go back into programming and get, do a boot camp, full stack. And so I've given up on jobs, and I even went to the ones where they're like, yeah, we specialize in autism placement. And they did, and then you get this disability washing, let's see, put that up there. Yeah. So now here's the, you probably know what greenwashing is. It's where companies pretend to care about the environment, but they don't. And now they're doing disability washing, where they pretend to care about autism, but they don't. What they're actually looking for, what I found out, is they want someone fresh out of college, so that they've been making minimum wage all through college and has the ability to do this $50 an hour programming, and is a naive autistic person who will accept $20 an hour. And so this is like Charles Schwab, right? These are like big companies that can pay a lot of money for this type of stuff. And they're just, I applied to those, and they're like, oh no, this guy's got, master's degrees and 10 years of experience, and he's not going to take, $20 an hour to do a $50 an hour job. Let's find someone else who's a chump. And so I got rejected from those jobs, even, where it's like, and they had very specific criteria, like, oh, you have to be recently finishing school. And I'm like, yeah, I just finished my boot camp. Well, we don't want to hire you for some reason. And yeah, all of those I've applied to. And then there's like the startups, right? You're like, hey, I'm a fresh new full stack developer. Could get with a startup. All the startups rejected me. I had one interview, basically, and the dude was just like, oh yeah, we don't pay you. We just give you shares. And if the company works, you get to sell your shares. It's like, oh, well, it's something to do while I'm unemployed that may have payoffs and give me something to put on my resume. And then he flaked out. He was off doing something else. But yeah, and then I got interviews. The only 2 interviews I got were like 3 were these guys who are like life insurance salesmen. They wanted me to be a life insurance salesman. They billed the job as becoming a broker, a licensed broker, because I was doing stocks and all that stuff. And they're like, oh yeah, actually we have you selling life insurance. I'm like, fine, I'll just take any job. And they're like, okay. And they're like, all right, you passed the interview. We're going to give you this personality test. And it's like, the Myers-Briggs type personality test that is not repeatable and is not respected by any academic research, and it's just kind of like, and then they're like, oh, we can't hire you. You didn't pass the personality test. I was like, oh, well, sorry. See you later. And then, I got another call for an interview. I'm like, oh, do you guys do a personality test? They're like, yep. I'm like, bye. I rejected 2 interviews just because I knew there was going to be a personality test at the end. Yeah. And that was it, man. So why bother looking for a job? I just gave up. And I started doing all these online things, right? It's like, well, you can do this online. Freelancing. I have a freelancing thing on Upwork. Didn't bear any fruit. Oh, I got my LinkedIn profile going. That didn't bear any fruit. So, anything that the neurotypicals are going to be doing, it's not going to work because there's so many of them, right? And there's so much fierce competition. But what I realized doing all this is I like making computers do things. That's my thing. And I like games. And I like zombie apocalypse games. And so maybe you can find the same thing out about yourself and apply that and start making money online with something that you own, your own product, your own service, whatever, that's scalable, is going to be, bringing revenue from millions of people instead of one at a time. And you can use AI to stay ahead of the rest of the workforce and keep using it, because it's going to keep it's going to keep on keeping you ahead. And then you'll see a divergence of people who are just doing, like, one dude who can make an entire game by himself compared to a studio. And, that studio is going to be putting out woke content, right? And it's all going to be, diversity and inclusion crap. And, they're going to, tie your hands in the game, like Meta. What were they doing? They were like, well, we have to have a personal bubble around people so guys don't go up and grab a girl's butt, and you're just like, and then everybody quit playing, because that's what guys want to do. And guys are the ones who play games. And so they flopped, lost $1 billion. And then you're competing with that. That's my competition, is like this woke giant studios that take forever to make a game. And I'll be cranking out a zombie game in 6 months, and everybody will be playing it because it'll be cool. And you can do stuff, you can do fun things. But yeah, that's the way this new digital economy is working. And that's the way you make money. So I would give it a shot, go do what I did and see what kind of results you get. That's all I got to say on that. Take it easy.